Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good day, and we're just gonna get started here. We're gonna do some analysis on essentially the S&P 500, the triple Qs, the IWM, the Dow Jones, and we're gonna also take a look at the volatility. And I'm actually gonna start doing a recap on some sectors that I think we should be analyzing and just watching as well. But we'll start it off. So I think I marked everything that I wanted to take a look at. Right now, it's just 22 tickers. We'll start off with the S&P 500. So right now, again, big down day again on the S&P 500. Traded about 123 million shares today. So again, a very big decline and on big volume as well. So again, this is what I was talking about in the past as well. We want to see big sell-offs with big volume, which is going to be quite significant, right? So it's going to be we're most likely going to see some follow through next week, in my opinion. Although we could get a pause day, as we're probably getting a little bit oversold on the smaller time frames, like the 1 hour and the 4 hour. But moving on to daily, it still has room to run, and same thing for the weekly. Very, very, very ugly weekly pattern here. I gapped up at the open, and they closed significantly lower. So bearish engulfing candle right here. So again, I expect the weekly time frame to potentially go even lower. We do have some targets here that I'll be discussing in just a bit, but we'll get to that in just after we do the recap on the rest of these tickers. It won't take that long, trust me. We're just going over it because the S&P is quite important. Not to say that everything else is not important, but the S&P is definitely very important. Triple Qs down significantly here, guiding rejected from this upsloping trend. This downsloping trend line was pretty significant. And whoever has been following me on inside my Discord, we've been getting some pretty gnarly trades on Tesla, Nvidia, and all these tech stocks. They've been just plummeting. So again, we're reaping the rewards now, and I've been signaling this for many weeks using market cipher as an indicator to tell us where this market is headed and what it is going to do. And I've been signaling that we've been having increasing red money flow not only on the S&P, but the triple Qs, the IWM, and the Dow Jones. And then we'll get to that in just a bit. All right, so we'll keep going here. Let's take a look at the IWM. So the IWM here, definitely getting hit very big. So again, another big down day on the small caps. And I did expect more downside after that significant close below 169. We kind of got a waterfall sell-off. So we're probably going to tag 162 now is my best guess, or at the very least 165, which is the head and shoulders pattern target from this head and shoulders, as you guys could probably tell. We had a very nice head and shoulders pattern. Let me drag this up a little bit like this. So that's your head and shoulders. We get a brush here. You got your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder, and then boom, beautiful sell-off. And it's just been, just can't get out of its own way. So I wouldn't be trying to get in front of this at the moment until I see a bottoming pattern starting to form. So just, if you're short, enjoy the rewards. If you're long, I mean, it sucks to be long, especially when there's such a significant sell-off. But it was on the charts, right? So what can I say? Let's move on. Let's take a look at the diamonds here. And the diamonds right now, the Dow Jones, another big sell-off as well. I do expect this to go just a little bit lower. But we might even tag 325. So that's probably going to be my next level that I'm going to be taking a look at to see if the Dow Jones can manage to find some support there. But it's just got to go a little bit lower, right? We're going to have some minor support at 329, but it's got to go lower. And then let's take a look at the dollar quickly. So the dollar has been very, very bullish. It's now actually starting to put in some consolidation near the high. So if you guys have been watching my dollar analysis, essentially we did break down from this upsloping trend line, which is the first sign that a significant top might be in. And again, I had a target around 106.5. We actually, or 106, yeah, right around 106.5 actually. And we actually did get rejected from that level initially right here, and we came back down, but we overtook it, and then actually we made a nominal high and then got a little bit of a bearish divergence and then came back down once again. But overall, I am expecting higher for the dollar if the markets are going to continue lower. And right now, just looking at the weekly time frame, we're putting bullish inside bar consolidation. So I think we're going to go a little bit higher. I think this is just trapping people shorting the dollar, thinking it's going to go to zero. Although, we could. I'm not saying that we can't, but we could have a significant top in the dollar. If this is the top, then you've already got your 5-wave move or your corrective pattern, and this is an ABC pattern. is now starting, like so, and you're going to go way down in the dollar. Okay? All right, let's move on here and let's take a look at whatever I have left here. So the VIX spiking actually above 20, and again, a lot of people are discounting the VIX and why the markets are selling off. This is very significant. There's uncertainty in the markets, and there will continue to be uncertainty. I do have a price targets of 26 for the VIX, so I do expect the VIX to continue to push higher, which would again be bearish for the markets, and there would be more of a significant decline coming in the next week or so. So we'll have to take it day by day, but overall this is not bullish. And then finally, we'll just take a look quickly at Bitcoin. The Bitcoin futures actually closed up a little bit higher. Again, very volatile, very tough trade right now for Bitcoin. At the moment, if anything, you're forming a head and shoulders pattern. You have invalidated this red bar high on so this bearish inside bar consolidation. You actually invalidated with this weekly close here, but on some other patterns like the other charts, like the crypto charts, the trade 24/7, there's actually still 2 days left until the close. So if the Bitcoin closes maybe below 29,295, then maybe we might still have a short opportunity for Bitcoin. But overall, Bitcoin's looking bullish at the moment. And let's finally take a look at the 2-year here. It's actually taking longer than I expected. The 2-year very quickly actually spiked up at the beginning of the week and then started to pull in at 5%, and then now we're at the 10-year is at 4.9. So now you're starting to see a potential reversion coming for the 10-year and the 2-year, which would be bullish because now the banks can start making money again. They can start borrowing on the short end at a lower rate and loaning it out for a higher rate on the long end. Okay, 20-year spiking again, going parabolic. If you guys are looking at the monthly chart on the 20-year, the rates are going parabolic at the moment. So just don't get in their way. I added to my TMF position today, but I'll have to see if I keep adding or if I'm going to cut my loss, because if these rates keep going parabolic, they can get out of control very quickly. Taking a look at oil here, oil actually is at a very big downsloping trendline resistance at the moment. So, but we do have a lot of geopolitical news. So some people are thinking that this might be the top for the oil, but I would say that there could potentially still be one leg higher as well. And there's a lot of people as well saying oil is going to 130, 120 because of the war. But we'll have to see, because if this plays out, then yeah, you're gonna get a big one last leg higher in the wave 5, and then you'll get your ABC correction. But at the moment, we've had a pretty significant correction as well. I should have to relabel this because now we're invalidating some Elliott wave theory. So actually, I have to redraw this completely. But overall, you guys kind of get the gist of it. And if we because now the 4 has gone below the head of the 1. But overall, if this is just like, let's just say this is like a wave 3, very big wave 3. This is a wave 4, and you get a wave 5, right? This is your bullish case. But if this is the bearish case, then you've already gotten your 5 waves up like this, and then now you're going to get an ABC correction like so, right? And you're going to go way down, and now you're going to start the decline of oil, and this could be recession fears, stuff like that, and it could lead because it could be coming from really bad earnings. And taking a look at nat gas right now, again, we're long nat gas, and I'm going to be getting ready to add to another position on nat gas when we get a little bit lower. Maybe you'll tag this upsloping trend line, and I'm going to be ready to long natural gas for another big bounce up. And then at that point, I think we're going to squeeze up to $4 or $4.50. So I have some really high price targets, but we'll take it one level at a time. And then finally, we'll take a look at the TLT here. And TLT, again, making another lower low. Bullish divergence for now. We'll see if it gets invalidated. You also have a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Hence why I added a little bit to my TMF position today. But again, we're at 20-year lows now on the TLT. We've never seen such a collapse in the bond market, but we've also never seen the yields spike up so much. But that's probably why they're collapsing. And everyone keeps buying the dip on the TLT, so I don't know why. I don't know if this is going to work out, because it's a very crowded trade right now. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if this one plays out. But overall, it's not looking that bad. You know, you're coming to a 20-year low. Maybe we'll get a significant bounce there. The institution is definitely long the long end of the long end of the curve. IGV, cloud software here dropped by 2.53%. Not surprised. QQQs were down significantly. Tech was getting killed today. SMH down significantly as well, 1.57%. And it was actually, you need really to take out this pivot. Once you take out this pivot, you're going to get a waterfall sell-off, in my opinion, in the semis, and that's going to be pretty significant. You're going to get some support at 136, but I won't be too surprised if it doesn't hold, right? Because right now, the tech sector is really lofty. It's really in the stratosphere, and there's a lot of delusion, in my opinion, of where these guys think these tech stocks are headed in the short to long term. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the Jets ETF. So this is the airlines ETF. Absolutely getting slaughtered. It can't get out of its own way. It's been dropping, down 33% in only like 90 days now. So eventually you're going to find a bottom in the Jets ETF. And when that happens, you're going to get a big bounce and a big rally. But until then, I won't get in front of this at the moment. I would just let it go down. There's maybe some lower levels, and I'll have to price those out. And then I'll take a look at the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. And right here, you can see real estate has been getting absolutely killed lately. And this is because the long end yield of the curve is continuously rising. And this is putting significant pressure on mortgages and people trying to get mortgages to buy homes. If the price of homes don't go down and your interest payment goes up, you won't be able to afford it because your income is not matching the expansion of the interest payment and the equity payment. So you either need a small equity payment and a big interest payment, but you can't have both, right? You either one or the other. And it can last for a while, but not forever, right? So you can see, we've had high rates for quite a bit of time, but eventually it's going to crack the real estate market and it's going to go down. You're already starting to see it. XLE, energy sector, again, oil was down just a little bit, so then not too surprised that we got 1.68% down. Also, there was a broad market sell-off today. XLF, so again, this is very worrisome. Looking at the financial sector, once the financials go, everything else tends to go as well because the banks support everything. Right now, you're at a pivot low, but if you start to take this out, you can go significantly lower and maybe even retest the $30 range. Okay, so just be careful for if you're getting into those banks right now. XOP, oil and gas exploration. Right now, XOP is down as well, down 1.68%. And that's because, oil is down as well. Another broad market sell-off, so not too surprised about that. Looking at the KRE and finally wrapping up with the last two ones. So KRE, Regional Banking ETF. Huge down day today, down 4%. So again, the regionals could be getting ready to fail once again, like we've seen before. And if this happens, this is going to be another panic in the market, and we'll have to see if the Fed comes to the rescue once again. If they do, they could inject liquidity into the market and maybe even drive this market back to new highs. So we'll have to take it day by day. And then looking at the KBE, so large bank ETF, actually down 3.5% as well. So again, the financials are really starting to go here, taking out this pivot low and closing as well. So again, the KBE might be even going to retest the lows here at $30. Don't be surprised if it does. Again, if this happens, you're going to get more downside in the S&P. And we're going to be taking a look at Market Cipher very quickly now. So finally, let's take a look at Market Cipher. So Market Cipher, as you guys can probably tell, I've been indicating this for a while, that we're going to get a very big, not a very big, but I said we're going to get a continuation in the market towards the downside with this increasing red money flow, this red dot confirmation right here, topping at 436, and now we're at 420. Right, we're at 420. Sorry, we closed at 421.19. After hours was at 420.70. So again, I'm not too surprised that we got another down day, and I won't be too surprised if we even see more of a waterfall sell-off. And again, I have my price targets right around 408 to even 390. So within that range, we could actually go down pretty significantly. But I will be buying once I get down there, depending, obviously pending market conditions. If it's a market crash, I won't be buying, but I don't think we're gonna get that, but you never know. So once we get within this range here, I'm probably gonna start accumulating. As you guys can probably tell, we're gonna get some support. A lot of trading happen here. So I'm gonna be looking to get into some positions once we get into this zone. So don't be surprised if you see a bunch of buy signals inside the Discord. I'm gonna be accumulating some longs and potentially getting ready for a big bounce. And again, we'll have to see if this bounce turns into something very bullish or very bearish, right? So this bounce can either come up, right, and fail, which would lead to a wave 3 inside of a wave corrective wave C, which would be an extreme, like massive crash towards the downside. And then we'll have to see what happens after that if the October lows get taken out. I suspect that they very well could next year. And again, this is not going to play out, in my opinion, until next year, but we'll have to see. But overall, I'm very bearish still on the equity market. The triple Qs here are down 21 with a -5 on the dual band strength index. Same thing on as the SPY. I expect more downside, increasing red money flow. No signs of a bottom just yet. Momentum waves have ways to go. So again, just be patient. Hold your shorts, hold your cash positions, and don't get too long yet. So looking at the diamonds, very tight momentum wave here. Very big sell-off as well. And then same thing as essentially all the other markets. And taking a look at the IWM, we have a 17 and a -5 on the dual band strength index. And we have heavy red money flow. Again, like I said, I expect that we could go test 162. If we take out 162, this could lead to something extremely bad. And looking at the monthly, right now, I'm seeing that this monthly candle has probably been the most bearish I've ever seen in a long time, with this decreasing red money flow, momentum waves getting ready to expand towards the downside. And same thing for the weekly. The weekly I don't think is ready to bottom out yet. I think there's still more downside. Looking at the DXY here, DXY confirmed a red dot top on the weekly time frame. Monthly time frame still very bullish. Looking at the daily time frame, we got another red dot as well. But overall, it's just chopping sideways. It's consolidating. You still got heavy green money flow. But we'll have to see if it's starting to top out and we're going to get a big drop, right, in the markets. But even then, even if the dollar drops, the stock market could be dropping significantly as well. As you guys can probably tell, the dollar was down today, which is supposed to help the markets. But it was just, the markets just couldn't hold up. There were too much fear, too much panic, and then everything just went down. All right, so I think that, kind of wraps it up. We can take a look at the VIX quickly. VIX is still very bullish here. Increasing green money flow. Weekly time frame, recovering from the red money flow, about to cross into the green. Monthly time frame, green dot confirmation that a low is in the VIX and that we are getting ready to move towards the upside, which is quite bad. All right, so I think that wraps it up. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you guys enjoy the shorter form of the recaps, I'll go back to it. So just let me know what you want me to do. I'm here to help you guys guide you through the markets and help you analyze it. So again, if you guys want shorter videos, I'll do the shorter ones. If you guys want the longer ones like this, I'll keep doing the longer ones, but this is probably going to be only on Fridays. Other than that, hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Peace.